Okay, so this is the finished MIDI instrument of the toy drum I was recording in the other video, which I'll link in the comments. I've separated it into two sections on the keyboard. You can see the C3 area is the more straight percussion, the two drums, and the wood block, the two wood blocks, and then the two cymbals. And then from C4 is where I've put the xylophone component. So it's individual notes. It actually starts on D, which is the D4. And the only notes that were on the xylophone were those 7 notes: D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So I've configured Decent Sampler to fill in the gaps to make it a full C to C octave. C4 through to C5 and all the individual notes in between. It's a fairly simple configuration you do in Decent Sampler. It means that I've converted those 7 notes into the full C4 to C5 octave. There's a couple of other parameters that you can change. You can change the attack and release. There's an overall tone control, and there's a reverb tool that's a part of Decent Sampler as well. There's a variety of other things you can add into a Decent Sampler MIDI pack, but I've just confined it to that for this one. It means you can take a bit of the edge off the front of a note, etc. You can embed it in more reverb. It's all those sorts of things you can play around with. So that's the finished thing. So how do you get it? First of all, you'll need Decent Sampler, which is a MIDI sample playing application. It's free. I'll put a link to the download page in the comments. It's a great versatile tool that I use regularly for my recordings. It can run as a standalone instance, which is what you can see here, but you can use it as an instrument within, like Pro Tools. I use it within Pro Tools as a MIDI instrument, and you select the instrument you want to play through it. You then need to download my sample pack, which again the link is for that is in the comments as well. Once you've downloaded that, it'll come up in your download files or wherever. You need to unzip that file to the location you want to send it to. So in my case, I've just unzipped it in the downloads, and all you need to do then, when you've unzipped it, it's got the samples, all the sample files, the image file for the instrument, and this file called DS preset, which is Decent Sampler preset. All you need to do, double click on that, and it will open in your Decent Sampler player. And if you're running Pro Tools or something, you can just go through this browse as well. That'll bring up. A lot of these are the ones that you can see. There's a lot of free ones in there that are provided by David Horowitz, I think his name is, the guy that built Decent Sampler. And there's paid ones as well. You can buy them as well. There's quite a lot of options there. You can build your own, or you can go to somewhere like Piano Book, and where there's a lot of additional Decent Sampler instrument packs that you can download, typically for nothing. You can donate to people as you think appropriate. Yeah, so that's how you install it. And the last thing I wanted to do a bit of a walkthrough on is how you actually build the instrument pack itself. Does involve a little bit of coding, but it's XML, pretty basic stuff. And the Decent Sampler site has quite a comprehensive guide on how you do that. And the way I tend to get started is I pull up one where I know it's got parameters and things that I'm looking to use, and I copy it, take out the stuff I don't think I'll need, and then build it up from there. So the finished thing for my pack looks like that. It's, as I say, it's XML, which is just a series of these things, the sideways arrows, markers, and then you put content in them. In simple, I'm not going to go into a detailed walkthrough of what this is. That's a bigger ask than this, a short video on this. But you can see there's the opening brackets, and that references the image. There's my image name, and gives you a pixels for the width and height of that image. Then this box, they're the 4 controls that you would have noticed before: the attack, release, tone, and reverb controls. Then we go into this groups section, and you can see that's marked there as random. And what that's telling Decent Sampler to do is whenever I hit, for example, if I hit the C3 note, this one, it's only going to, it's playing the C note from the xylophone, but because I've selected random, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 sections of notes. It's going to, from a random selection, pick that xylophone C note randomly from those 4 selections each time, and that gives you just a touch of variation that can add a bit of a human element to the sound of the instrument. And that's, you can see in those sections, it references all of the sample files that I created. Go back to in here. So there's each of these: C note 1, 2, 3, 4, D 1, 2, 3, 4. They're itemised in each of those 4 sections. Where are we? C1, C2, C3, C4, and by setting that random parameter, each time I play a C note, it will select one of those 4 notes at random. So you might get the same 1, 2, or 3 times running, but then you'll get 3 that are all different, for example. That applies to all of those sample files. So the drums, cymbals, the wood blocks, etc. They're all randomised. And then the last section, it's got some of the parameters that Decent Sampler needs to manage the effects that you've introduced: reverb, low pass, etc. They're pretty standard sort of stuff for XML if you're familiar with it. It doesn't take a lot of work to develop a basic understanding of it. The only other thing you need to be thinking about is an image. By the way, I'm using a free code app. I can't recall exactly. Vision Studio Code. That's a free app for viewing and editing, writing this code file. And then for the images, I'm using GIMP, which is similarly a free application. It's a version of a Photoshop type application. You can create multiple layers and effects and the like when you're creating image files. So there you have it. There's my toy drum MIDI instrument. It's not meant to be the ruler of all things or to solve all problems, but it's a bit of an opportunity to see how you do these things. Leave a comment, a question, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. And hope to see you another time. Thanks.